Hi, my name is Amy. I wanted to tell you a little bit about my adoption story. My husband Johnny and I first inquired about adopting a child from foster care 3 years ago in April 2018. Unfortunately for us, we were unable to adopt that first little boy, but we decided to go ahead and become a certified foster home while we continued to inquire about other children waiting for adoption. In July of 2019, we accepted our first placement through foster care. She was an 11-month-old girl, and she was just with us for a few weeks, but it was long enough for us to catch a glimpse of what our life could be like and look like with two children. At this point, our son was 3 years old, and he was showing a very strong first or oldest child personality. Because most children waiting to be adopted in the foster care system are older than 3, and because we weren't having much luck with those efforts anyway, we decided at that point, it was September 2019, to make our son the oldest child in our family and to pursue private adoption of a child or infant younger than him. We were intimidated by the cost. The current average cost of a private adoption in the United States is more than $35,000, and we had less than $5,000 to put toward an adoption. We began researching and talking to friends and acquaintances who had adopted. One of the first steps is to complete a private home study, and we considered several agencies, but we chose to go with Adoption Assistance because they were recommended to us more than once. We felt like their services were priced very well and they responded to our questions quickly and compassionately. I remember being so impressed that I was able to make an appointment with Julie in less than 24 hours and have so much of her time and expertise before we even chose to use their services. Our private home study was completed in weeks, while our home study through the state had taken months. Looking back on it, I believe if we would have started our adoption journey with adoption assistance, we likely would have been successful in adopting a child from foster care that first year. Adoption Assistance is one of the most flexible and open adoption agencies we've encountered. They freely share your home study outside their agency, which we learned is not common, and they offer free services to adoptive families that most agencies charge fees for. So, from November 2019 until May 2020, we presented to more than 100 birth families around the country without a yes. And it was very discouraging and disheartening. But during this time, we were reading and learning. We were building our adoption fund. We made changes to our personal budget. We got an adoption loan. We applied for a grant and got it. We plan to take advantage of the $14,000 adoption tax credit. We sold coffee and t-shirts, and a lot of our friends and family just gave us money to help with adoption expenses. In May of 2020, we felt like our adoption fund was healthy enough to hire an adoption consultant, which is someone who works with you to find available situations, and they also give you extra support in the process. We ended up not even using their services because a friend called us at the end of May about an available situation. Because our match was considered direct, we didn't have to use an agency's services. We chose to involve adoption assistance at first because of the added support they could offer the birth mom in our case. But later, some potential adoption complications arose toward the end of her pregnancy, and we were also really thankful to have their guidance and support for ourselves. Looking back, I don't know that I would have known what to do without their help. Our baby girl was born early in the morning on November 5th. I got to be there, and I feel so privileged to have witnessed it. Her mother was so kind and gracious, and she allowed me to feed her and to have my own private room with her. I've never seen a more poignant display of strength and bravery than from our daughter's mom in that delivery room that day. We finalized our adoption on March 8th, which is 35 months after we started our adoption journey. I text with our daughter's mom at least once a week. I send her pictures and updates, little videos. Sometimes she asks for specific details like how her features have changed or what her eyes look like, or how my son is reacting to this thing or that thing. I will always feel grateful for the way that she trusted us to care for her daughter. If you're expecting a child and you're unsure what to do, I encourage you to reach out to adoption assistance. If you're in Kentucky or Tennessee, they'll let you know your options in a no pressure way. You may decide that adoption isn't right for you, but if it is, they will be with you every step of the way. Adoption has changed a lot over the years. Not only do you get to choose the family who will care for your child, but you can also decide how open you would like the adoption to be, from pictures and letters to phone calls and visits, even. And your social worker will help you make sure you find a fit that feels most comfortable for you in your situation. No matter where you're at in the adoption process, I wish you the very best.